This is NRL Tonight. I'm Matt Russell. Tuesday means teams. Here are the big talking points. Kept in reserve, but Latrell Mitchell inches closer to a comeback. Will it be against the Warriors? Penrith's McLean is showing as the coach prepares for Game 500 and the team pushes to win without Yo. And can Nifai Puru stay unbeaten for the Sharks as he fills the big boots of Braden Trindle? Also tonight, a second contract extension in a matter of months for Chanel Harris-Tavita, Adam Dewey done for 2026, and a late turbocharge for Manly. But first, the Brisbane Broncos will run out with a new look backline as they chase some redemption in Canberra on Friday. Reece Walsh is gone for the season and Ben Hunt is back in the number 7 for a trip to a stadium renamed Papa's House as the Raiders whip up the emotion around Josh Papali'i's final home game.
Tried this yet?
Injured, in bed and eating ice cream. Every Brisbane fan will agree with Reece Walsh.
You're missing out.
Last year's Clive Churchill medalist undergoing ankle surgery as the Broncos desperately attempt to pull out of their 2026 tailspin.
No, there's definitely the care factor there. The boys care. They don't want to let each other down. They don't want to let anyone down at the club, and then our fans. We don't like letting our fans down, so there's definitely a care factor there.
Ben Hunt will start at 7 against Canberra, partnering Ezra Mam at the expense of Tom Duffy, while second rower Jordan Ricky has been named despite limping off the field at the club's first training session of the week.
I think we've had a bad luck of injuries and stuff since the start of the year. We've had all different sort of players in, but the weekend on the performance wasn't good enough.
Hayes Perham will fill in for Walsh at fullback. The 27-year-old understudy reportedly re-signing with the club for 2027.
I hope so. It's still in talks as far as I know. Me and my manager spoke recently and everything's looking pretty positive. So, hopefully, it gets confirmed and we can get that over the line.
Already signed for 27, Xavier Willison can talk to other clubs on November 1. The 24-year-old prop doesn't want to.
They've given me everything, to be honest. Since I was 15, they brought me over. They had trust in me. I like the boys, I like the staff. It's great culture here. This is my family.
Brisbane must win one more game to ensure they avoid the wooden spoon. Josh Bristow, Fox Sports News.
Now, as tipped, the Raiders have named Papali'i to start. There he is in number 8. Around him, Simi Sasangi is back to mark the occasion with his fellow Samoan, and Corey Horsburgh is back from a break on the bench. At Brisbane, Hayes Perham will play his 5th NRL game of the season in that fullback role. Hunt is the starting half for the first time this season. Tom Duffy goes to the extended bench. We say good evening to Tim Manor, who lined up opposite Josh Papali'i 11 times. What a player, what a servant to the Canberra Raiders, Tim.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of Papa. Like, just the way he played and the way he embraced everyone around him. He's going to go down as one of the best Canberra players. I know they have had a lot of legends, but his record there is incredible. I think the key is when you watched him in Origin last year, what that meant to the Queensland side. He has that kind of presence about him, so he's going to be missed, and I wish him all the best in his last home game.
And there are players at the Raiders who are timing their surgeries to be part of this game. They want to be part of Papa's farewell. Was there something particularly tricky about handling Josh Papali'i? You're a middle forward. He is as well. You were direct opposites in terms of positions. What was it like playing against him?
People forget he started off in the back row, so he was dynamic as an edge player. Then he moved to the middle, and he has a big size about him, but it's also his footwork. So it was so hard to prepare to hit him because he wasn't like a big bopper just running straight at you where you can just brace for it. You had to be prepared for his footwork as well. So always a player to be on your toes for, but a lovable guy and a person that everyone around the game just can't help but admire and respect.
The Broncos are going to go into a packed venue with a lot of emotion there among the Raiders. You reckon the Raiders are keen to win this game, firstly, for their retiring front rower, and then there's last year's Week 1 final and the heartbreak of Ben Hunt's winning field goal, a kick that would ultimately help Brisbane win the grand final and see the minor premiers out in straight sets. Tim, it's their first meeting since this game.
Oh, I remember that game, and what a hit again match. The emotion. I remember thinking 20 minutes ago, the game was well and truly done. I thought Canberra had won the game 3 times in that game. Reece Walsh led that comeback, and it was hard to believe your eyes when you saw it. But then the following few weeks really was a fairy tale for that Brisbane team, and it feels like a long time ago now, but it was a special game with a lot of special memories.
After that terrible loss to the Warriors last weekend, what do we get from the Broncos in this game with Ben Hunt back in the number 7 jersey?
Yeah, well, I think Madge is the kind of coach that's not going to let the team take their foot off the accelerator. He's going to want them to finish the year hard. He's been disappointed with the last couple of weeks, but
more than disappointed, he was angry, wasn't he, in that media conference?
You could tell. He's a competitor and he hates losing, which is what you want from your coach. But he'll make sure they go there with the theme of ruining the party. He doesn't want to be a part of the party and celebrating Papa. He wants to make sure they go there and they're ruining that party.
But is that enough? Will Brisbane win this, or do Canberra deliver again for Josh Papali'i?
As much as I love Madge and the Broncos, I do think it'll be a special occasion for the Raiders. I think Papa and his last home game's going to be enough to drive that victory for the Canberra Raiders.
Remember when he became the most capped Canberra Raiders, scored 2 tries in that game? Does he get over? Does he get over on Friday night?
I wouldn't put it past him. He's that kind of player. He rises to the big occasions, and it'll be even more special if he can.
Round 25 starts, though, in Melbourne on Thursday, when the Storm emerge from a bye against Penrith. Craig Bellamy gets Jack Howarth back from a shoulder injury. Trent Tolau takes the halfback role from reserve Hayden Watson. Harry Grant is over his hamstring complaint. Alex McDonald is back from head knock protocols. The Panthers welcome the return of Casey McLean from a broken hand. Perfect timing for a hamstrung Paul Alamotti. Penrith lost to the Warriors when Isaiah Yeo injured his pec, and then against the Roosters, a third straight loss could well cost them a top 2 finish.
Yeah, I think so. He's an integral part of this football side. So obviously the work he does through that middle third of the field, sort of unmatched. But yeah, we're figuring out different ways. Obviously, Lindsay Smith's an incredible talent as well. So he's doing a great job for us. But it's just little nuances to our game that we'll have to figure out and work towards and work out a way that we can sort of not replace Yowie, but get the job done without him.
Yes, the Panthers finish with the Storm, the Bulldogs and the Tigers. There's life for Penrith without Isaiah Yeo, isn't there?
Yeah, like you look at the rest of that team, that Panthers side's a strong side. He is an important part of the attack for them. Like a lot of the attack comes on the back of him. He's that link between the ruck and the halves. But I think they'll be fine, and they'll learn to adapt. And whoever comes in will do a good job for them.
Did your Eels ever lose a key star like this? How did you handle it? Tell people watching why losing one player can be so disruptive.
We lost, Gutho 2017 mid-season as we were making a run towards the finals. And you obviously train all off-season with a certain spine or certain players. And when you take one of those players out, it does disrupt the way you play. But we adapted, and I'm sure the Panthers will be able to adapt without him. This
is Premiership Game 500 for Ivan Cleary. Have a look at the list of most Premiership games coached. Ivan becomes only the 7th man to 500 with a win percentage of 58. Friday will be his 303rd at Penrith after starting at the Warriors and with a stint at West Tigers too. That's Thursday, that game. Tim, 6 grand finals, 4 premierships as a coach. Jack Gibson, the super coach. Wayne Bennett, the master coach. Craig Bellamy, some say the best coach. Is it Ivan the Great? Is Ivan a great coach?
He is a great coach, and you win 4 competitions, you earn the right to be called whatever you want to be called. It's a great achievement. There are some incredible names on that list as well, though. So to call him the greatest is a big call, but he's in the mix now. He's definitely in the mix.
Certainly, he's among the greats.
Absolutely,
with his grand finals and premierships. Now, when these teams met in round 5, Penrith won it 50-10. 9 tries from 8 different try scorers, but that's a long time ago. This one is in Melbourne, and the Storm are off the bye, so they're nice and fresh, while the Panthers have travelled a testing road without Isaiah Yeo. So, what happens this time around, Tim?
Yeah, well, at that stage of the season, we were shocked with Melbourne's result, but the reality is, since then, we've realised Melbourne haven't had the best year, and Penrith are having a great season, so that made a lot more sense. I wouldn't rule Penrith out down there. I think Melbourne will be doing everything they can to really cause an upset, and I think they're definitely capable of doing it.
Yeah, Penrith humming to start the year. Remember how good they were, and they certainly illustrated that against the Storm, but Melbourne are waiting this time around. Tim, the Storm have grabbed one of your Eels. Kelma Tuolangi is going back to Melbourne next year. The Samoan-born, New Zealand-raised player is actually a Victorian junior and was part of the Storm's NRL squad before he made his debut at the Tigers also playing at Manly and Para before now heading back to Melbourne. So Kelma Tuolangi to bolster the Storm's forward stocks next year. Speaking of signings, the Warriors have extended Chanel Harris-Tavita until the end of 2029. In May, he extended until the end of next year. Now, a few months on, he's extended again for another 2 seasons. You don't see that too often. He's been a shining light at 5'8" and scored in his last 4 games. The halfbacks around him, however, have rotated, and that's the case again this week. Let's start on the right of screen here because it is Harris-Tavita and Luke Hansen in the halves. Jet Cleary isn't seen there. He's a reserve. Hansen plays NRL game number 2 after a try and a win on debut in Newcastle back in round 3. Top of that team list, Tane Tuapiki replaces suspended Chance Nickel-Klukstar at fullback, where he spent most of the season anyway. Now, the Rabbitohs have named Latrell Mitchell as a reserve, so he's not on that team list you're looking at, but could come in later on in the week, having missed the last 11 games. Ewan Aitken starts for injured Adam Elliott and Liam LeBlanc returns to the bench. Tim, these teams meet for the first time this year, but the Warriors have won their last 2 head-to-head. This one at Sydney Olympic Park as well. Thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think the Latrell Mitchell adds so much dynamic to that team. Having him come back late's not a bad thing. They'll give him that kick before the finals and as they charge towards the top 8. Whether or not he plays is irrelevant. I think the Warriors, though, are going to be a hot team to play against. They're playing great footy. Andrew Webster has them playing an exciting brand of football, and they're ramping up as well, heading towards the finals.
I don't think I've conceded more than 18 points in the last 6 games. So, yes, they're scoring points, but they're stopping them as well. Given we mentioned Ivan's 500th game, this will be Andrew Webster's 100th. How about the Bunnies being unbeaten at a core stadium? 7 from 7. Does that boost your hopes for South in this one?
Oh, mate, it's a hard state. You don't know who they played and what the situation was like. But I just think the Warriors are potential premiership contenders, and I think they're going to be hard to beat. Straight
after that on Saturday, it's St George Illawarra against Canterbury at Allianz Stadium. The Dragons are suddenly chasing 3 straight wins for the first time in 3 years. Again, it's Dan Atkinson at fullback and Matt Fionney on a wing because of Clint Gutherson's knee injury. Canterbury have lost Jethro Rinakama to a knee problem. Bronson Cherry comes into the centres. Anari Tuala goes to a wing. The Bulldogs have to win every game from here and have some luck along the way.
We take every game as like a finals food. I mean, when sitting in the 8, we've worked hard the last few weeks to make ourselves, to put us in a better position than what we are when we were at 15th in the mid-season. So, yeah, as I said, we're taking one game at a time. Another big challenge against the Dragons this Saturday. We've worked hard today. We've looked at the game on the weekend. Now we're looking forward to the game against Dragons.
Now, we need to go back to round 1, to Vegas, actually, where these teams went to Golden Point and the boot of Stephen Crichton got Canterbury home. It was a view into how reliant the Dogs would be on their 5'8". The Dragons have come a long way since then, though. What about the Bulldogs, Tim? How far have they come since then? Have they come far enough to beat a Dragon side that's looking better and more confident with each game?
I think both sides have come a long way since then. They've had a bit of time in the wilderness on the way there, but both have started to come good. I love what the Dragons are doing the last few weeks. Dean Young has started to prepare for next year now, and you're seeing players put their hand up, and the youngsters they have there are really exciting. The Dogs, they're trying to make an important play. This is a big game for them. They have to win this. They have to win this week to be
probably gone, but if they keep winning, who knows what might happen, right?
It's mathematical.
Yeah, well, they've lost their last couple of games, and the critics are circling. The fans are a little bit disrupted. If they have a big finish, I don't know whether it changes too much for them over the off-season. It's going to be a really important off-season for Cameron Ciraldo, for Phil Gould, for the club to get all their ducks in a row for next year, right?
Yeah, and one of the key ducks for them is figure out what they're going to do with their halves. I feel like that's been the piece that they haven't figured out this year. They've played around with that a lot and probably way too much. I think until they figure out and settle on a half structure, they're going to continue having these frustrating results. So they've got plenty of time in the off-season to figure that out. But hopefully next year they can get it right.
Is it 7 straight wins for Canterbury against the Red V?
You know what? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go with the Dogs.
Okay, I reckon it'll be a beaut game. I'm looking forward to seeing that Dragons pack again. Hamish, Stewart and co. Let's see what happens. After the break, West Tigers name a new half as Adam Dewey heads for surgery instead of Lebanon at the World Cup. And Tommy Flegler tells us if he's willing to go pass for pass with Junior Barlaw on Friday night. NRL Tonight, Matt Russell alongside Tim Manor. Tim, the date is set for the first State of Origin game to be played in New Zealand. It will be at Auckland's Eden Park next year. Confirmation today, Game 2, June 16. Now, you played there with Parramatta in front of 38,000. What was it like?
It's a good stadium. It's special. It's there's some arenas that have almost a personality about it, and you can just feel the history in that stadium. And it was an honour to play there, and I've got no doubt there's going to be a huge crowd there come next State of Origin.
Because you didn't get to play at the SCG or the MCG, but Eden Park felt a little bit like you'd imagine that would be like, right?
Correct, yeah. Those historic grounds, they got a bit of personality about them. Like even playing at Leichhardt, you get that feeling of the history behind it, and definitely felt that at Eden Park. And for the Origin to be their Game 2, it's a huge thing. Is it the first time in New Zealand?
Yep.
It's a big occasion. I've got no doubt it's going to be a really big crowd.
Book your ticket. They'll go quickly. How are your Eels going to finish the season? Don't answer that yet. Have a look at the team first. Their next assignment is the Dolphins at Suncorp Stadium. The home team has named Max Plath to replace a hamstrung Connolly Lemuelu. There are also additions to the bench. The Eels have recalled Jack de Belin at lock and welcome Kelma Tuolangi onto the bench. Dylan Walker has a wrist injury and is out. Back to the fourth-placed Finns, where their prop, Tom Flegler, hopes to add to his finals experience.
Went to the grand final in 23 and obviously didn't get that lucky, but we haven't got a lot of boys here that have played in finals in general. So the boys that have played in finals, it's you got to kind of pass on a little bit of experience, and hopefully that can become of use.
I don't know if you saw Junior Barlaw's pass on the weekend. Does it make you tempted for a few more skills into the mixer if you did?
That there's pretty fluky for a front rower. Good pass, but I've got no intentions of doing that. I'll probably get sacked.
Tim, you've said you've been a skills coach for Junior Barlaw, is that right?
Negative. I'd love to take the credit, but...
you were there. You saw it from ground level, didn't you?
I did. We were there for our reunion. Junior is a halfback trapped in the front of his body. He's always had that skill about him, so... Well, it might have shocked a lot of people watching it. To the guys that know him and seen him training, it's something that he always had about him.
Let's go back to the Finns. After being pounded 66-0 by Cronulla in Redcliffe, actually, it was at KO Stadium, the Dolphins have won 4 straight since then. And they've just kept their first clean sheet of the season against Manly. How big a challenge is this for the Eels, Tim?
I like what the Eels are doing. I think they've been in the fight for many games in the last few weeks, but that Cowboys game, they showed a lot of class. I thought it just was a really good time for Jason Rolls. So even though their season's done, to see that kind of fight and desperation, those youngsters like Samrani stepping up has been really good to see. So I think this Dolphins clash is going to be a danger game for the Dolphins. I think Parramatta can go down there and ambush them if they're not careful.
OK, well, while we're talking about Parramatta, they're getting Jerome Luai next year. They'll get Jaden Sewer. They're the 2 big additions from what Jason Rolls had this year. If they have a better luck on the injury front, what are you anticipating from Parra in 2027 under Jason Rolls?
No, I think there's no reason why they can't be in the top 8. I think they need to be in the top 8, pushing for top 4.
So that's one really good forward and Jerome at the start of the back line, right?
And I know every team has injuries, but the reality is you missed a lot of quality players for a long stretch of the year. So Mitchell alone, having him, if he can be healthy next year, I think that he's a big part of that team, his kicking game, getting to win more games than they lose. I think they can have a really good season next year.
The Finns have won 12 of their last 14 games, but that 66-0 I mentioned sticks out like dog's ears. Where do you have the Dolphins right now?
They're so unpredictable. I feel like when they're on their game, they can beat anyone.
They'll say, we've won 12 of the 14. We're not unpredictable. But then 66-0 suggests, hang on, you've got an argument, Tim.
Yeah, I think it does stick out that one game. Maybe that's what it is. I've just judged them based on that one game. But they've got great attack. When they're defensively on, they're hard to play. So I think they can really make some damage in this final series.
Super Saturday starts in the Hunter. Newcastle against Manly. G'day, Spud. Now, centre Bradman Best returns from a calf injury for hamstrung Dane Gagai. Prop Jacob Saifiti is also back after 6 games out with the same injury. Tyson Frizzell starts in place of Francis Manu Leilua, who will sit out because of late onset concussion symptoms. Tom Trbojevic is back from his hamstring setback that cost him 3 games. Clayton Fualalo has been shifted to 5/8 in place of Joey Walsh, who suffered a hairline fracture to his jaw against the Dolphins. Ben Trbojevic is good to go. Prop Caleb Navali will come off the bench in his first NRL game of the year, having returned from an ACL injury through New South Wales Cup last week. Now, the Sunday ticket. Well, firstly, a comment there on Knights Eels. What are you thinking there? Knights Sea Eagles, Tim.
It's going to be a good game. I think Knights, for mine, are going to win that game, and I love the way they're playing. They're playing with some real purpose, even without Dylan Brown, who's their halfback, to keep winning the way they have. I just got to take my hat off to Justin Holbrook. He's done an incredible job with them.
Their long-range tries, you need to watch against them. Fletcher Sharp in startling form as well. There'll be a big crowd there. Their last regular season home game is the one against Manly.
And I love their fans. They stick through thick and thin, but they deserve what they're getting at the moment. They've been through so many tough times, and right now they should be enjoying these moments. And I'm no doubt there's going to be a huge crowd there this weekend.
The Sunday ticket starts on the Gold Coast against Cronulla. Aramaho has been recalled after Josh Paxton's failed HIA. Another youngster, Cooper Bai, is named to start at lock, so it's the bench for Chris Randall, where Luke Summerton also appears. As expected, the Sharks have named Nifai Puru in the halves after Braden Trindle's shoulder dislocation. He's played 3 games, Puru that is, NRL games this season, and won them all. Prop Adam Fanua-Blake returns from suspension. Running into him will be quite the experience for Bodie Sharpley, who made his debut last Sunday.
Is it true you want to take carry off the back fence too?
Oh, I wanted to get one. Had to try and get one of them. So yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Nah, nothing. Nah, I just wanted a taste of it. Yeah.
What feedback did you get from the coach after the match?
Nah, he was happy. Yeah, he praised me, so he said that I did a good job. It was unreal. Obviously grateful that Josh gave me the opportunity, but just getting that taste of first grade definitely makes me hungrier to keep going and play some more games.
Yeah, he had some really good touches. Back in round 1, Bodie Sharpley was a spectator as Cronulla pumped Gold Coast 50-10. Braden Trindle delivered 2 tries and 4 try assists, a complete masterclass. How do they handle life without him? Let me ask it this way, Tim. Do Puru and Hines do enough against the Titans, the Eels and the Storm to get Cronulla the top 4 finish they crave?
I think they can get there. They've proved this season that they can play good footy against the best teams, which is refreshing for their fans. It's a danger game. Like Kinney and Campbell, for my mind, that combo, they can really upset games if they get in a bit of a spark in them. So watch out for the combo of Kinney and Campbell, but I think the Sharks will win. I think they can make the top 4.
OK, I think Gold Coast will win another game to go past last season's win tally. They have 6 wins so far. They're targeting 7 and beyond. They play the Sharks, then the Rabbitohs and the Dolphins, all 3 at home. Are you with me? Do they have at least one more win, the Titans?
Yeah, I think they do.
Sharks, Rabbitohs, Dolphins. You know their last 6 games are against top 8 teams.
Really?
So they've played 3 and lost them. They've got 3 more to come.
I like the Gold Coast. I think they have good years ahead of them. So
they'll get one more win.
I'll give them one more win.
It leads me into what game do they win? Is it the final round against the Dolphins? Do they upset the Bunnies? Is it this weekend against Cronulla?
I'll give them the Dolphins game. I think that's going to be a good game for them.
Yeah. OK, well, it'll be intriguing start to the Sunday ticket, Gold Coast against Cronulla. Braden Trindle's absence, what does that mean? Now, the Roosters wrap up round 25 against the Tigers. James Tedesco is back after missing 2 games because of an ankle injury. On the other side, Adam Dewey is headed for shoulder surgery, costing him the rest of the season and World Cup for Lebanon. Jock Madden will play his first NRL since round 18. At least the Tigers get Alex Twal back. Tim, Lebanon need a replacement for Dewey. I think you're the man.
I was waiting for the call-up, so check out if you're watching this, mate. I'm ready to go into the halves.
Where would he have played for Lebanon if fit, do you think?
5'8". I dare say Mitchell, if he's available,
halfback.
Playing for Australia, would play halfback, and Dylan would have been a good 5'8".
Okay.
Adam would have been 5'8".
Let's hear from a couple of Roosters.
We haven't spoken about that at all. So like Sammy does, he's pretty carefree and he's worried about just playing footy at the moment. And that's been really evident with the way he's been at training, the way he's been vocal around the crew. All he's worried about is this year and getting his best footy on, and I feel like he's done a pretty good job at it. He's really put his mark on the team this year, I feel. He's confident in the way he's playing our footy. He's really confident in the way he wants us to play our footy. And we love it. We love when Sammy's loud and is telling us what to do. I feel like that's kind of been his evolution this year, and it's what made him such a good halfback. So anytime he gets a bit lippy, I'm always somewhat smiling. If it's not at me, that is.
Yeah, no, we're not a one-man team. I think Rambo's done such a great job, and it's sort of always been that next man up mentality, no matter who's in the side. So full confidence in our team, and like I said, next man up, no matter who's in or out.
The Roosters have won 8 in a row. The Tigers have lost 8 in a row. Do those streaks continue, Tim?
I think so. I thought the defence I saw from the Roosters last week against Panthers, very impressive. They showed they can score points against the Cowboys a few weeks earlier, but that defence is what win comps.
Here is what is ahead in round 25 this weekend. Leave me by giving me the match of the round, Tim Manor. Good one to start with, Storm against the Panthers. Does any beat that?
I want to go. I think the first one. Although the Papali'i game for me is going to be a special one.
I think so
Raiders.
too. Yeah. Raiders, Broncos. Tim, thanks for sharing Teams Tuesday. NRL 360 is coming up on Fox League. Gemma Barge has the headlines next on Fox Sports News.